everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Games, Guts, and Gore. Today, I'm here joined by Miss Donna Burke. How are you, Donna?
I'm very game and gutsy and filled with gore. Thanks, Damien. I'm ready to
Well,
go.
that's good. I mean, there's nothing better for this show then. So,
Yeah.
of course, to start off, I'm sure everyone knows you, but just for those who may not be as familiar, can you familiarize yourself with the audience, kind of let them know who you are and how you got to where you are today?
Well, hello, listeners, viewers, Game Guts and Gorers. I'm Donna Burke. I'm an Aussie. I've lived in Japan since 1996. I have worked in video games and anime as a singer and a voice actor and a lyricist since probably 2000, and worked with a lot of great directors and composers. And I'm known for Silent Hill 2, Angela, Silent Hill 3, Claudia, Metal Gear Solid, the iDroid, and singing some amazing songs for Metal Gear and Final Fantasy and Tokyo Ghoul. Actually, that's pretty gory.
Yes.
So gory, Damien, that I couldn't watch it.
Wow.
And it's an anime.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am not your target audience.
The gore is what freaks you out.
The gaming, yes. The guts, I'm more into watching my cats bring in snakes or mice and killing them in front of me. I'm into reality. Yeah, and stepping on a mouse liver and having it squeak between your bare toes. So yeah, I can talk guts and gore, but the gaming,
bring a whole new reality to the guts and gore.
Yeah.
So on that note, what was your first introduction to horror?
I watching Alien when I was 16, the movie. that was my introduction into Never Again. Because as soon as I was, this sci-fi, it's like Star Wars, this is going to be great. And just the eerie music and the camera sort of, I mean, I had no idea what was going to happen. And I'm someone who watched I watched Pulp Fiction from behind my hand. So yeah, I think, but 16, Alien scared the shit out of me. And I think that movie really showed the power of music.
Yeah.
To move you and to unsettle you and to foretell. So I was scared before I even saw anything. I was like scared just from the music.
Yeah, the music definitely added to the suspense and that unseen terror and horror. It's a great movie. It's a classic for a reason. So speaking of some classics, I mean, you yourself are a part of probably one of the biggest classics in horror gaming there is. Can you tell us a little bit what it was like, your experience working on Silent Hill?
Well, Damien, it was many, many years ago, and the memory's not as good as what it once was. Yes, I can barely remember anything. So the last time I did an interview with Silent Hill, I actually got Jeremy, who was translating for the director, to come on because he could remember way more than me. Yeah, and he dispelled a lot of, like, I think that people write theses on Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
And they have all these suppositions, and I'm sure this and that. And he absolutely said that no, we didn't know half the backstory for Angela, my character. She that she'd been abused by her father and maybe her brother, and nothing was really spelled out. It was just sort of like, she's it was all in Japanese. There's a phrase, chotto. Like in English, you say, it was really terrible. He was awful, and then I did it. And a long story, but in Japanese, you just go chotto, and that it's just sort of implied, and so they let your imagination. So her backstory was chotto, and it was up to the audience, I suppose, and for me as an actor to fill that in.
Wow. So, I mean, kind of touching on that a little bit, I mean, you've lived in Japan for quite some time. Do you speak Japanese?
Skoshi dake. If you can't speak Japanese and you heard me ordering food in a restaurant, you'd think, oh my God, Donna, she's Nihongo Jozu. But no, I'm just beginner level.
Yeah.
When I first got here and was doing lots of session work, my agents would say, do not speak one word of Japanese in the studio. Please don't. And it's like, why? And I was like, because we want the Japanese people who have booked you to think that we flew you in from LA
Oh,
or somewhere exotic, and that you're expensive foreigner who, is special. And so I was told, don't speak anything.
that's very
You
interesting.
ruin the image.
So, I
Yeah.
mean, you voiced two different characters in Silent Hill, in two and
Right.
three.
That's
So
weird.
it is. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, what is that like voicing Angela in two and Claudia in three?
Well, I have to say it's much easier for me to do a British accent. So I felt, and I no offense to Silent Hill people of Silent Hill 2 fans, but I think Claudia is way more exciting character than Angela.
Yeah.
Like Claudia has power, and I feel like Angela's just I'm sorry, it's like apologizing. Whereas Claudia gets to be, oh, I'm this, and she's just, it was way more fun to be Claudia.
Yeah. Yeah. Both are dark characters, though. Like, they both got some pretty dark kind of undertones in different ways, but I found that interesting. But I always thought like that must be crazy coming at it because they're dark in that way. They're similar, but I mean overall, I mean they're quite different characters, as you just said.
Yeah, and I feel like Claudia has way more. She has way more lines.
Yeah,
which as every actor knows, you know how good the part is. But she just has so much more. I feel like I had way more backstory for her as well.
yeah,
Yeah, and I don't remember auditioning for Angela, but I do remember auditioning for Claudia, and how shocking the audition was, and how kind of hilarious it is that I can't watch a horror game and yet I can do horrific things
yeah,
in an audition, like eat the baby Jesus that someone had literally just vomited up. I mean, that's disgusting, right? But I
yeah.
was like, oh yeah, I totally get my motivation here. Yeah, once more with feeling and less blood. So
Yeah.
yeah, what a
Wow.
great scene.
Yeah. So I mean, Silent Hill, as we've already touched on, you touched a little bit on talking with the fans as well, but I mean, it has got some of the most diehard fans I'd say out there, especially when it comes to gaming. I mean, what's it been like interacting with the fans throughout the years?
Well, to be honest, the first 10 years there was no interaction really. I think because it came out before YouTube and
Hmm.
before YouTube was invented. But it's only in the last probably 10 years that people have really been reaching out and wanting to talk about it. And now, it's really interesting now that it's been remade too. I would have loved to have been involved with that, but I think, and of course, I won't be playing the new one. But I think it's like it's just such a privilege to be part of a classic game. And it's
Yeah.
like, even if you remake a Bond movie, you still want to go back and watch the original Bond.
Of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah. It's a privilege. It's something I never felt would ever happen to me, to be
Yeah.
in such an incredible franchise. So yeah. Except I feel guilty. I don't remember much.
So, I mean, it's so big. It was probably, I'd say, one of those first video games to get, or maybe I'm totally tripping on that, but I feel like it was one of the first video games to kind of get those movie adaptations done on it.
Maybe,
Have you seen the
yeah.
film?
No, because I again, it's not something I would want to watch.
The horror part.
Yeah.
The horror part's too much.
So maybe I reckon we should do a Twitch where I watch it and make funny comments. So if I could watch it and just like pour shit on it and be silly, then I'd like that would be fun for me. But to actually watch it in the dark, no.
Yeah. I mean, how does it feel? I mean, I'm sure you know this part, but Carrie-Anne Moss plays Claudia in the film. What do you think about that?
God. I think that's great. In fact, I'm now got a career as a screenwriter, and I'm sort of shopping this TV show at the moment that's centered on an aging video actress who lives in Tokyo, who's never played a video game. Oh, that sounds, and of course the character's called Donna. It's based on me. It's like a terrible version of myself, and I have a picture of Carrie-Anne Moss in my little shitty Tokyo apartment, and I hate her guts. And I'm like, I was robbed. I should have been in the Hollywood movie. And that's like my whole. So I just love Carrie. I can't wait to meet her because to me, I just have a good giggle. Yeah. I mean, have you seen Humans? It's this funny sort of drama. It's a tiny bit of comedy in it. That Carrie-Anne Moss, William Hurt. It's a remake of a Swedish TV show called Humans, where it's a society. We all have beautiful humanoid robots.
Hmm.
And she plays a character in that. So, and then when I'm watching that TV show, I'm thinking, she played me in Silent Hill 3. Oh, you got to laugh. Yeah.
So, I mean, pivoting over slightly to another hit game series you've been a part of, you've been involved with multiple Metal Gear games in different ways. But I mean, Metal Gear Solid 5, you performed iDroid. In Peace Walker and in 5, you did a lot of the music, the soundtrack. How was it like being involved in all that and being, again, a part of such an iconic franchise?
Again, I had no clue what I was doing, especially when I did Peace Walker. I think I recorded that demo in 2009, and I just saw a tweet from Kojima-san that they had someone else in mind. To sing it, and she was out of Tokyo, and he was like, "Oh, well, we'll just get this other girl, Donna, to sing it, and she can." It was supposed to be. I was kind of a placeholder for when they could get the real singer in, then I think they just got used to my voice, and so I sort of got the gig. And had no clue what Metal Gear was, or like nodded politely. Oh yeah, Metal. It was literally in one ear out the other. Something about metal, I don't know, and then forgot about it. And then when it was released, it was this huge thing, and they had the international press, and I had to sing it live, and that's when I realized, oh my God, this is bigger than anything I've ever done before. And I remember meeting Kojima-san backstage from that event, and him saying, "Oh, I want you to sing that song for the next game." This was in 2010. Yeah. And so for years I was like, when's it coming? When's the next game coming? When? So then in end of 2012, I started working with Ludwig and Honda-san for what ended up being Sins of the Father, and just recording demos in my studio. And it was actually 2 songs. Sins of the Father was 2 songs that Honda-san recorded. And then Kojima said, I like this bit of this song and I like this, so can you just meld them together? And that's why that song is just incredibly, what an incredible song. Oh my God. Yeah. So, and then during the iDroid, I got that voice job because I'm the Shinki lady. And in Japan, bullet trains are very much a part of society here. And in 2003, I started being the voice on one of the most famous bullet trains. So in fact, in Japan, that is what I'm most famous for.
Wow.
Not any game. It's like, are you the Shinkansen lady? And it's like, yes. So Kojima-san asked me to do the iDroid voice because he'd caught the Shinki, all the time, back and forth from Osaka. And I was on a podcast and I was mentioning, he's like, oh my God, you're the voice. And he could just see him think, oh, I want you to be the voice for the system guidance for the next game.
That's
And
funny.
he asked me, "Are you allowed to do the train voice like for other things?" I'm like, I didn't know actually. I'm like total bullshitter. Of course, it's my voice. So yeah, that's how I got that gig because I'm the train lady.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
funny. Wow.
But
So
also for Silent Hill, I used to beg people. I used to beg like what's his face, Akira. I'd be saying, I can sing, and they'd be like, yeah, no. And I feel like really like sucked in. I
yeah.
bet you wish you had sung something because I think they just thought I was like some wannabe singer. They didn't think they really realized I could actually sing.
Man, missed out.
Yeah.
Hideo Kojima cashed in there. So, I mean, what is it like working with him? I mean, he is probably one of the master storytellers of this generation. I mean, he's recognized globally for his just pure talent.
Well, he's very lucky to have worked with me. I mean, I think that was a highlight for Kojima's career. And in fact, he gets asked a lot of the time, what was it like working with Donna Burke? He was just a regular guy.
Yeah.
He can't speak English, so everything was done through a, interpreter. Yeah, so nothing. He just seems like a normal bloke.
Yeah. Yeah. He always comes across that way on social media and stuff. He always seems like a very normal dude. So, in terms of video games, have you ever played video games?
Oh God, have I ever played? I think I played Arms because I'm in Arms. It's a Nintendo game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Dr. Coyle. I have played that with my nephew, just so I could hear the sound of my own voice. I played a video. I think at Tokyo Game Show they got me to play Metal Gear Solid, and also Kojima got me to play Metal Gear Solid at Konami. But it's like again it's comedy gold. So watching the character sort of try and walk and then shoot the gun into there. It's just again I should be on Twitch being shit at it because it'd be hilarious. So no, I find I can't I can read a really scary book like a Game of Thrones, which is pretty scary,
Yeah.
but I can't watch it. I think the music and it's just too much for my. I think I might be a little bit on the spectrum, a bit of a bit specky, and so no, I can watch you do it. So
Yeah.
I for charity, there's this Silent Hill. They do this like a fast version where they play the whole game for an hour. That was fun.
Yeah.
There's no tension. There's nothing scary. I'm not like, what was that? Ah! Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I mean, you're obviously a big fan of Metal Gear. I see behind you, you got that Metal Gear in concert poster. I mean,
Well, that's
I've
because I'm
seen
at.
video. Huh?
That's because I sang in Paris, and this is the poster from Paris. And for a little girl who grew up in a very remote city of Perth, Western Australia, the idea that I could sing with a symphonic orchestra in frickin' Paris,
Yeah.
it's huge. And now with Metal Gear Solid Delta coming out whenever it comes out, and then reigniting the whole game. And last year I got Cynthia over to Japan to sing for Metal Gear in concert, which was amazing to get to meet her. And just having having this whole franchise be reignited. I'm actually friends with David Hayter too, so we've got to be friends from working from Metal Gear Solid, and we're working
Yeah.
on some projects together. So it's been really good to me. I couldn't be prouder. Yeah, and I'm really excited to do more concerts. I just
I
love
was
it.
gonna say they're quite spectacular. I've seen videos on YouTube. I've never, fortunately, had the pleasure of attending it in person. But
Where
I've
are
seen
you based, Damien?
Orlando, Florida.
Where's Orlando? Oh, Florida. Gone hot and steamy down there. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to the chance to come to do a big tour of the States when, once the whole new generation starts playing Delta. I mean, how cool is that?
Yeah, for sure. That'll be really
So I'm
cool.
actually hitting the gym and I'm getting my fitness back and doing, because I think it's going to be, I think there's a big future for Metal Gear.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. That'll be really cool. And if it hits the States, I'm sure not only I will be very pleased to attend, but I'm sure everyone is going to jump on that opportunity. I mean, it's incredibly popular here. So, I mean, it'll be awesome.
It was funny when we did it in New York in 2019. There was lots of complaints from the audience that people were sobbing and they couldn't really enjoy the concert because so many people were crying.
Yeah, I
Isn't that
bet.
cute?
I bet. It
Yeah.
definitely hits an emotional chord with a lot of people, especially when you see the music. And the music is like, I think some people don't always make that connection. They think, oh, video games, music, whatever. But I mean, the music is really something else. I mean, it's like beautiful music. It's not just like whatever retro beeps and boops, whatever. It's not
Oh,
that.
no. I was flown from Tokyo to LA and recorded Sins of the Father at one of the most iconic studios, Capitol Records in LA. Like,
Wow,
it was big budget.
that's really cool.
So, yeah, super cool. And I agree. Like, when I'm in the wings waiting to go on stage to sing, the music that preceding before it's just completely overwhelms my whole body, and I feel so like it's so powerful and so moving, and
Yeah,
and I haven't even played the game. I don't even know what I don't even know what the backstory is, and I'm just utterly,
yeah.
yeah,
Which speaks to its quality, though. I mean, if it was
yeah, yeah.
only, situationally like, oh, you had to play the game to enjoy it,
Yes, yes, yeah.
it's
Well,
cool.
well
It's
said.
really it's something else. So you kind of mentioned it a little bit, but I mean, you voice act. I mean, not only in games, but a bullet train and also anime. Is there a
Yeah, yeah.
difference in voice acting in anime versus video games?
I feel like videos seems to be more physical. Like I remember with arms, that was a really long session, and I'm Dr. Coyle, and it's like and so I feel like you use your body a lot more,
Yeah.
and it's a lot more. There's a lot more screaming and dying. Okay, can we have a long death? Great. Yeah, that was a bit too long. Can you just, just the last croak at the end? Can you just have just shave a couple of seconds off that? So yeah, way more dying and death, and often with anime, uh, it's more fun. I think because there's often you're in a room with all the other actors. That's
Mm,
sort of, and that's fun. It's more
yeah.
social. It's kind of fun, but it can also be annoying if some of the other actors, keep fluffing the lines. Oh, again! Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. More physical. I wouldn't have thought that, but that's cool.
Yeah, and also I remember for Magical Lyrical Nanoheart, I was literally given an Excel sheet with a bunch of lines. I had no clue. They said, you're just like a robot type of a wand thing. Now go. Okay, so I, but yeah, I think I've done well in my career because I'm not. I've got a vivid imagination, and if someone just gives me a bunch of lines, I'm not like, so what's my backstory? And I don't. I'm just like, oh, okay, I'll just go and make it. I'll just make shit up,
Yeah.
and it's up to the director to tell me whether what I've made up is okay.
Kind of
So
fill in
yeah,
the blanks yourself. That's cool.
yeah.
So, I mean, as we've discussed, you've got a long list of credits, both in acting and in singing, across everything. What credit are you most proud of?
I think singing.
Yeah.
I think singing moves people. Sorry, all you actors out there. I think acting definitely is very moving, but there's something about singing because the singing is acting, but it's
Yeah.
also touching people or the harmonics of the music is touching people physically in a way that just the human voice can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also are really proud of, like, Sins of the Father is a beast to sing. And Glassy Sky, which is from Tokyo Ghoul, that's been covered like 20,000 times on YouTube. But Sins of the Father, not many people are going to crack that song at karaoke. Yeah.
Definitely. That's I mean, like we said, it's a powerful song, and hard to replicate, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not only are you singer, actor, you're a businesswoman too. Can you tell us a little bit about, what your business was and how it kind of compares to acting and singing, if at all?
I'm sort of an accidental business person. Like, I remember when I was about 40, having a girl working for me, and I was in the car driving to a studio gig, and she goes, "Oh, hi, Mum, I'm in the car with my boss," and I was just like, "Boss? It's almost like she'd sworn. Like I'm in." Like she said a bad word.
Yeah.
Boss, I'm in as a boss. Like, oh my God. So so that was interesting, becoming the owner of a company. But I think I'm very ambitious, and I really want to have control over. I don't want to just sit and wait for the phone to ring. So I did have a booking agency from 2004 until I closed it in 2022, basically because I just realized I don't have time for this, and I've got lots of other projects. But one of the things that that allows me to be entrepreneurial and an artist is that I have these heat pads. Well, I don't know if I've got some here. Anyway, I export Japanese heat pads, so that gives me this solid income.
Yeah.
So that I can say yes. It's not like, well, I've got my day job, so I like that I have created this income stream from exporting. But then my latest thing is I'm obsessed with Japanese toilets because I live in Japan. And when you go to the toilet in Japan, every toilet, the women's toilets, have this. Can you hear that? Did you hear that?
Yeah. I caught it.
Yeah. So in the late 1980s, in Japan, there was a terrible drought, and they realized that women were double flushing in the toilet to cover the sounds of their plops and their farts and their splashes. And they didn't give a shit about there being a drought. They just thought, I'm not having Watanabe-san, my boss, here, the bad curry I had last night. So they invented this etiquette, this toilet etiquette of where you just make this sound of water, and no one can hear what you're doing.
Yeah.
In the toilet. And so when I go home to Australia, or if I go to America, I'm like, oh my God, like I can hear everything, and everybody can hear me. And I'm double flushing privacy, courtesy flushing. Mrs. Eco Warrior. So anyway, this is called Royal Flush Japan Toilet Sound. So if you just go online, you can buy one, and I'll ship them from Japan. And yeah, I'm really busy, but I just can't not do this. It just annoys me. Even Costco has them here.
Wow.
Costco's an American company. They've got like American style toilets, but then everyone in Japan must have just complained, must have been, the toilet's just so, and now they've all got these. So when you go to Costco here.
Wow. It's that commonplace. That's pretty funny. Wow. I mean, it makes sense.
You get used to it. Like in the office, there's a toilet that's close to everyone, and everyone, and you're like, oh, there's no one in the toilet, and then the door opens. Like, I was just about to drop, bombs away, lads. So and now I can't. So yeah, that's my Japan toilet sound is my get rich slow scheme.
That's super cool. Wow. And it's something, I mean, it makes sense, and it's something that yet is so foreign here. I mean, that's really interesting.
I wonder if it's also because a lot of people don't like to do number twos out of their house.
Yeah.
But in Tokyo, like it's 37 million people in Greater Tokyo. That's a lot of people who leave home early morning, do 1.5 hours on the train, come into work, and so the public places in Tokyo in particular are really nice. Like the toilet doors go right down to the bottom, and everything's super clean and super luxurious because there is no, I think I just hold it until I go home.
Yeah.
There is no, so it's just, yeah, I would love to have that. I would have loved it when I was a kid. I went to an all girls school. Oh
Yeah.
my God, the teasing, the terror of, oh my God, what if one of the cool girls comes in and here's the plop? So you're doing the thing with a news with the toilet paper, rattling, trying to, yeah. Oh, but aren't we funny, us humans?
Yep. Yep. Well, it's an interesting cultural difference, and I'm surprised it's not more commonplace because, like you said, here everyone's worried about, oh, I'll just hold it till I get home. I think that would kind of cut that whole thought process off. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's actually I used to think it was only women, but a lot of my male friends are like, oh no, yeah, I totally want this. And in fact, online it's like half the sales are for men. So
That's
because
interesting. I believe it.
you have a nice hot date, you bring them back to your house, but your toilet is right next to your living room. She's going to hear or he's going to hear everything. So, or you've got nothing to talk about. So this is like a conversation
Yeah.
or I'm thinking if someone you really don't like at Secret Santa, and you can give this as a secret funny joke.
There you present.
Go. And the people who get it like, am I that loud? And you're like, well,
get them second guessing themselves.
Me and the guys just thought,
So
gotta laugh.
Just to kind of wrap things up, is there any upcoming projects you can tell us about?
I've got a game coming out, really interesting project from China called Evo on September 13th. And this game is inspired by Metal Gear. So I can't say more than that, but I'm in it. And I'm singing the theme song. So check it out, everyone. Evo. And it's been published by Sony and a great team from Hangzhou that I had the pleasure of working with, and I'm love Chinese food, so oh my God, so I can't wait to go back to China. That's coming out, and also there's this cute train thing that I'm involved in, which is coming out this month too with Tokyo Game Show. It's called 00 Perfect Stop, and it's some funny device that I think it's made in America, where it's very retro kind of a game on some, and the game is you're driving a Shinkansen and I'm saying the station stops in my that's the device you can see there.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, it's a very retro thing. Oh, Playdate is what it's called. Playdate is anyway, so that's fun.
That's pretty cool. That's a cool little console there. I haven't seen that one before, but definitely harkening back to that retro feel.
Yeah, and I think it's calming type of, getting back in touch with your childhood maybe, or in the way that you playing solitaire with, very predictable, calming game.
Yeah. So just to wrap it all up, what is the best way for the audience to support you?
Go to japantoiletsound.com and buy a Japanese toilet sound, and I can sign an autograph for you and send it with you. and spread the word of Japan toilet etiquette.
There you go. Bring that Japanese culture over to America.
Yeah, you can. And I actually got a cute little postcard, and I really will write and sign a message to you or your friend. And I think actually it could be a fun thing to do for your friends is order one and have it sent to them and tell me what to write on it. So,
there you go.
Hi, Damien thinks your farts are destroying your dating life, and so this is a special present from him to you via Donna Burke, and I'll sign it.
I like that. That's a good idea.
Actually, we noticed the other day that someone had bought a Japan toilet sound for someone in Germany. An American person had bought it. So we were wondering, are they being funny?
That's funny. I wonder what that's about. I wonder what that's
about.
Or
do they hate their guts?
Yeah.
Yeah, you really need this, bitch. Anyway, we can have some giggles with it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I appreciate you tuning in. And Donna, I appreciate you joining us. I'm going to be linking Japan Toilet Sound in the bio. I'm going to be linking all your socials so people can connect with you there. So like I said, audience, I appreciate you tuning in. And Donna, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and I appreciate you coming on the show.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you, guys. See you in the next one.
Bye.
A podcast of terror, a haunting delight, unveiling the darkness in the dead of night. Horror movies and games, a macabre in the world of